What's happening, guys? I'm Curtis, and you're watching Left Foot First. So last episode, we got that rear chassis section there all tacked up. And at the end of the last episode, I was all out of steel tubing, the 1x1 box that we've been doing most of the chassis out of. I went to the metal supermarkets to get more, and they're all out of 1x1 square tubing. So we can't really do a whole lot of chassis work today. So we're kind of limited. But I do have something that we need to do. We're gonna pull the chassis back again, put the axle back up on the stands, and run it through its full motion and make sure that it doesn't hit anything back here now that we got the bottom rails and whatnot. And then I've noticed that the chassis is starting to get a little surface rust on it, which I don't like. So we're going to pull the axle out. I want to weld up some of these joints in here so that the back half stays pretty sturdy. And then we might tackle some of, you remember way back in like episode like 8 when I had all those all the issues with the welds and getting porosity in them. We can take and grind out all those crappy welds, re-weld them, and then scuff up the whole chassis and throw a coat of primer on it, and then that'll prevent that rust from spreading. So we have some stuff that we can do. It's mostly maintenance, but progress is progress. So let's pull the gas tank out of the way and then see if I can one-man slide this whole thing back and get this rear axle back up on the stands. Yeah, we'll give her a whirl. We're gonna get Justin to swing by for a minute because I can't pick up that axle on my own. Alright guys, I'm sorry. I just got really sick. So I'm gonna go inside and not do any more work tonight. And hopefully we can pick back up on this tomorrow. Hopefully I'm feeling a bit better, so we'll see you guys then. All right, guys, new day, obviously. I don't know what happened, but as soon as me and Justin moved the chassis, I just felt real sick and had to go lie down for the evening, so we lost a whole evening worth of work, but no big deal. I should still have enough time this evening to do everything that we talked about. So the chassis is down on the table again, the rear end's up on stands. Let's clamp the chassis down to the table, throw some wheels and tires on the rear axle, and then we can get started cycling the suspension and make sure everything works. So that's the plan. Alright, you guys remember a couple episodes back when we said that the ride height was going to be, we can get away with a 6 1/4-ish ride height. We've since kind of moved the axle around, so let's set this back to the correct ride height. All right, we got the ride height set, but we were not without casualties. Apparently, the cheapest tripod that London Drugs sells was just not up to the task. So got our gaff tape back together again. Should hold for the day. So let's cycle the suspension and make sure we got no clearance issues. All right, we got a bit of an issue here. We set this guy here on the driver's side at maximum up, so it's at about 4 inches up. And then we set this jack stand over here down to about 2.5 inches down. So it's got a pretty aggressive angle to it. I mean, you can see how much angle it has there. And the issue that we're having right now, that's an interference fit. That tire wouldn't last very long. So we need to reevaluate. I think 4 inches up is a little bit excessive, so I'm gonna drop that one down one and see if that works. All right, I think I got her figured out. Our up travel is going to be 3 inches at the tire. So I got this one here set for 3 inches above the bottom of the tire there. And then our down travel is going to be 1.75 inches. So I got this one set 1.75 inches below the bottom of that tire. So let's kick the axle up onto them jack stands, and then I'll show you the clearance here, because this is going to be, that's our #1 issue spot. So let's see what that looks like. All right, just get my pinky through there. So I think that's plenty of clearance. Now that we know those values, let's unbolt the rear end, and then we got to scuff this whole frame up and give it a coat of primer, because it's starting to rust and I don't like that. So let's do that. Now comes a job that really should be a 2-man job, but Justin's got his kid with him right now, so I'm gonna have to make it a 1-man job. I have to somehow slide that rear axle out the other side of the chassis. Come on. All right, axle's out. Took way longer and way more effort than I thought it would, but we got it. Next step, let's clean up the surface rust off of these front top bars and give them a coat of primer and move on from there. I'm gonna put you away before I get paint on the lens. Oh, you guys probably can't see it on camera, but it's real full of fumes in here. So I got the front half painted. I think I'm gonna let that dry up, and we'll flip it over and do the back half next week. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.